Welcome everyone to the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. I'm your host, Michael Pickering. That's right, Lo-Fi as in low fidelity, low quality, in your face, messy as can be global news show. Here we're going to talk about that famous question, what's going on in the world today? The news, fresh off the press. We sadly start off with a story about justice being served for a tragic event. Source, BBC News, Africa section. Killer of Rafiki, Uganda's rare silverback mountain gorilla, jailed. At the beginning of last month, the well-known silverback Rafiki was killed by poachers, and now the one who admitted it in court was sentenced to 11 years. There's only an estimated 1,000 silverbacks on Earth, and they are considered endangered species. Let's conserve what we have, peeps. It would be more than tragic to lose such an incredible creature as the silverback gorilla. Next up, source, Reuters World News. Hong Kong blocks 12 Democrats from election as China security law shadow looms. We all knew many of the implications of the new security law would not be known until after it was implemented, and now we're beginning to see the full manifestation of it. These 12 pro-democracy activists were planning to run for office in Hong Kong in an effort to create a majority of pro-democracy officials in the Legislative Council, a chance that seems sadly to be dwindling. But hope is not lost. We're still with you and watching, Hong Kong. Keep up the goodness. Now moving forward, because we never move on from anything. Now in other election news that is not about us. Source, BBC News, Europe section. Belarus accuses Russian mercenaries of election plot. And what do we have here? An authoritarian government accusing its friendly neighboring authoritarian government of sending troops into a country to interfere with an election? No, not Russia. Come on now, President Lukashenko. You're arresting your own people and opposition candidates yourself. You don't need any help fixing this election. Do you? We'll keep you updated on this story as it develops, Lo-Fi Nation. Our following story comes from Reuters World News. EU sanctions Russian intelligence, North Korean, Chinese firms over alleged cyber attacks. Well, I suppose maybe Russia can't be trusted after all. The story. For the first time in EU history, sanctions have been used in response to cyber crimes. The Russian intelligence wing of the military, along with Chinese and North Korean firms, have had several of their members banned from traveling to Europe, as well as having their assets in the region frozen. They are all accused of hacking large companies for financial gain, as well as other nefarious purposes. It'll be interesting to see how these three countries react to the first sanctions for cybercrime. What an interesting age of technology we live in. And to further that statement, a last piece of news to send you on your way for the day. Source, BBC News, Science and Environment section. NASA Mars rover Perseverance robot launches to detect life on Red Planet. What wonderful news indeed to go off on our day. It'll take about 7 months to reach Mars, expected to be February 2021 when it lands. And not only will this little wonderful robot look for life, collect sample of Mars rocks, but it will store all of these samples for retrieval in the next decade. Wait, did you say retrieval? Why, yes. Yes, I did say retrieval. Because we're going back to the Red Planet within the next 10 years or so to collect these samples and bring them back to Earth. It will be the first such mission where we send something to Mars and it comes back to Earth. I can't wait to see what we find. And that's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of Lo-Fi Global News. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Write in with questions or comments to lofipolisci@planetmail.com. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Wash those hands. And I'll see you on the next episode of the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. Pickering, signing off.